Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, November 24th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I will start with this one, and that is to say that about 2.5 months ago, if I do the counting right, could be a little longer, we settled above this channel structure, 366.20, all week long, anticipating 528.40 as an overall 5 to 8 month objective. On the way up, as you may recall, if you've been watching the series for any time, you know that there's a channel top we tested, a few weeks later, and I'd mentioned, and I don't have it properly shown here, I probably should, there is this rising channel bottom that I'll show right here at 394.29, the top of which we actually tested back in, I don't know exactly what it was, but I'm going to go with late September, early October, just a few weeks after, well, you can see right here, and it was the testing of that channel top where I'd mentioned we could fall to the channel bottom that is now at 394.29, and that's why we've got the 5 to 8 month status on 528.40 because of the channel top we knew could contain buying pressures on a midterm basis. We have now fallen away to the channel bottom 2 weeks in a row, 394.29 and climbing. And in fact, we didn't close below it on Friday, but we closed at it. In other words, we could open with an unchanged open on Monday, open below 394.29. The same formation on the daily chart, it's worth showing, is 392.57. So if we open clearly below this level, I would expect 374.82 intraday. 374.82 not shown here, but it is a 3/8 Fibonacci longer term, coming off that April low against that more recent high in later October. And we could bounce there perhaps for the day itself, but I will say if we close below 392.57, you should anticipate this is a swing trade then. 1 to 3 days I would expect with present volatility back to the 366.20 formation where we could bounce given the shortened week, Thanksgiving and all, we just might bounce there through the rest of the week, which isn't saying much. We've got 4 days this week. So if it takes a day or two to reach, the 366.20 level, as shown here, a day or two, yes, we could bounce through the rest of the week into Friday. The critical element would be, of course, not only just a daily settlement today below 392.57, and this is a worthy 1% level because this formation does span back to April, so it exceeds our 6-month requirement. In other words, on a settlement basis today, 390.35 or lower, we enter a significant sell signal. And I guess that's what I'm struggling to say. While 366.20 would be a weekly objective, I do think over the next, I'm going to call this by the end of January or sooner, could potentially be by the end of December, certainly with the way things have played out in terms of volatility. 310.01 is a rising 2/3 speed line from that April pullback low against the recent high. It also will correlate pretty soon, and already does, with the 5/8 Fibonacci. And that's a significant Fibonacci level, around 313.50. I'm going by memory here. So this will be an objective, I'm going to say potentially by the end of the year. If we close today even at 390.35 or lower, that sets up a sell signal that I'm expecting to play out through the rest of the year. Until then, you can flip that on its head and say we are in bottom-picking territory right now. 392.57, the beginning of a range that ends at 394.29. And if we can, and it's a settlement-based approach, right? So if we close continued daily settlements this week at or above 392.57, we remain in a bottom-picking dynamic over the next 2 or 3 weeks, 457.18 in reach. And yes, over the next 2 or 3 months, we can round our way up to channel resistance. This channel top is continuing to climb. And in fact, eventually I will ignore it because what I will pay attention to is this 5-year channel at 528.40. So let me rephrase that and say that continued weekly settlements above 394.29, which is about the same as our daily settlements, above the 392.57 area. You can see 528 represented here. This is actually a good illustration. Continued daily settlements at or above 392.57 will keep 528.40 in reach over the next 2 to 3 months. And on the way up, of course, we have this 457.18 as a 2 to 3 week target. So you could be bottom picking the low to mid 390s right now. Obviously, you're stopping out with a daily settlement at 390.35 or lower, or on an intraday basis that would be based pretty much on your already existing risk management practices. Let's take a look at the upside. I do have 416.13, this former channel bottom, despite the spikes that occurred over the last week above it. It is still a worthy level. If you're long at 392.57 and you're looking for a day trade to the upside, this could be in reach. 516.13, but really it is 429.33 that I see as our 3 to 5 day swing trade right now. So if we do not close below 392.57, this is still the area to be long. Long anticipating 429.33, 3 to 5 day swing traders. Long anticipating 457.18, 2 to 3 week swing traders. And long for you near term investors who are interested in seeing, are we actually going to reach, that 528 level in the coming weeks, in the coming months? And let me just get to it. I'm jumping all over the place. My apologies. I think this is it right about here.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
This is it right here. This is for you 2 to 3 month investors. This is a major capitulation point right now for Tesla. We are trading at it. We've yet to close below it. I'm not going to make any assumptions one way or the other as to what the future may hold, but I will say the market tips its hand significantly if we close today at 390.35 or lower. 3 to 5 day swing traders play the short side down to 366.20. 3 to 5 week swing traders play the short side down to 310.01. Is there anything else to say? There's one other thing. This 310.01 is represented here as a horizontal line. And with this wild swings that we've had in Tesla for the last, better part of 2 years, there is this possibility that if we close, and I've said this before, I'm just repeating myself, if we do close the week below 394.29, not only might we see 310.01 within a month or two, but as we continue into the second quarter, into the middle of 26, this was a December to April sell-off. So this was, about 5 months, right? And so this could be 5 months from now, potentially. I'm just putting it out there. So there is a case to be made for those of you who are long Tesla and you're really sort of edgy with whether to stay long Tesla. I think closing at 390.35 or lower today, and certainly at the end of the week, this does have finality and closure with a weekly settlement. Of course, there is the possibility that we violate 392.57, we tag 366.20 within a day or two, and come barreling our way back to close the week at or above 394.29. This is certainly possible. So, we do need to hold out our long-term assumptions until we close the week Friday at or below 390.35, thereabouts. But if we don't, we are in reach of 528, roughly this long-term channel top I mentioned before. But if we do close below 394.29, there is the very real possibility of the low 200s over the next 3 to 5 months. Keep that in mind, so much so that I don't personally have a problem if you were to reach for, 200 strike out of the money puts that don't expire. I'd probably go a year out on the expiration. I certainly don't expect it to take that long, but I would hate for you to go out, 4 or 5 months only to see taking the correct position and to have your option premium decay to hardly anything by the time you reach your objective. So maintain that delta, the rate of change of the underlying option relative to the underlying stock. And so the way to do that, one of the ways to do that, of course, and the primary way to do that, of course, is to go further out in time. You're going to spend a little bit more money on that put, but you'll retain that delta, and you'll reduce theta, which is the time decay element. I am going to leave it at that for, I'm at 9 minutes. I'm just going to ask you to click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. I will be back, of course, tomorrow with Tuesday's Tesla. You have a great day.